guys, before I tune into this live video, I'm going to be setting this down and letting you watch something on Chrisean Rock and Blueface getting back together. Right now, Blueface is doing a 24-hour stream. Backing up, Chrisean went on live talking about Ronnie's death and saying he's gone, he's dead, and saying incriminating things to try to throw the alleged investigation from herself, and already mentioning that if certain people don't stop trolling her, that they would be dead like Ronnie. So I just want to indicate that now her and Blueface did pop up. I guess Blueface was performing, Chrisean showed up, and they've been together ever since. And Blueface is doing a 24-hour live. Right now, I don't know if you're aware of it, but Blueface is making about 25K after he was dropped. He was dropped, but he makes 25K a week just for streaming his life. So he's not like a lot of washed up artists that get dropped. He continues to make money. And I was watching a video earlier today on that. But I want to say that I believe that the last live Blueface did, he was in the house with Nevaeh, who's a baby mother that is pregnant with his child, supposedly, allegedly, maybe somebody else's child. You know how that goes. And he ended up staying gone all night with Chrisean Rock. It also got revealed that Nevaeh does voodoo, which is the same as witchcraft, and a lie detector test. It came out, and she tried to cover it up and say it's good voodoo. But all of this is dated back to Crazy in Love, when they were together on Crazy in Love, and people just couldn't get enough of Chrisean Rock and Blueface. Well, now I do believe that Chrisean Rock went to going back to saying she was a Christian and in the streets evangelizing, because that's what she does when things go left in her life. Like a lot of people do. I'm not knocking her. And I'm not saying that she had anything to do with it. All of this is alleged. But what this title of this video is today is keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And I believe that's what Blueface is doing. He is keeping Chrisean close to him because he knows how dangerous she is. And I know Blueface is not as unintelligent and in love as most of you think he is. He may care about her, but I think he's smarter than that. And I think there's a reason why he's wanting her around. And I think it is not to protect her. I think it's more to protect himself. And that is just a move on his behalf that he's doing. But let me go ahead and let you see where they are now. This is in a 24-hour live after they got back together. He was earlier today or yesterday feeding Chrisean Jr. and with a spoon, which they said Chrisean Jr. wouldn't eat with a spoon. And he was spending time with both of them. They had a concert that Blueface was performing at, and now they're together. This is the next day, and they're continuing to stream for 24 hours live. Remember the title, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. There we go. started that song, I had to mute it for a minute. I don't want to get flagged. But as you can see, they're getting ready to go running, and they are together in a 24-hour stream. He hasn't gone home to Nevaeh. They're still together. I want to switch real quick while we're on this commercial break and show you something else I watched, just to update you on the situation with Chrisean. I'm just going to show you a little bit of this. I'm going to go all the way to the end. Stay with me for a minute. Try to get it all the way to the end so we don't watch a lot of it. Then I'll get back to the other video to finish it. But this gentleman, and you'll see it in the description later, is saying that Chrisean is set by TMZ investigation to be arrested.
Custody off. Chrisean Rock will not name a single verifiable data point that would allow an independent journalist to confirm that the test she is claiming actually exists, because it does not exist. Or if it does exist, it did not return the answer she is broadcasting. And the moment a Maryland investigator serves a subpoena on that laboratory, the whole rehearsed story is going to detonate in the exact place where Chrisean Rock is most exposed. Here is the piece nobody wants to say into a microphone. Chrisean Rock is not a strategic criminal. Chrisean Rock is not Jimmy Henchman. Chrisean Rock is not a career fixer with a Rolodex of contract muscle. Chrisean Rock is a 20-something young woman with a Zeus Network reality paycheck, a Snapchat addiction, a temper problem she has never learned to manage, and a lifelong habit of confessing to felonies on a live stream at 3 in the morning while a phone camera runs in her hand. Chrisean Rock does not have the discipline to sit down. Chrisean Rock does not have the network to make evidence dissolve. Chrisean Rock does not have the political umbrella to make a Maryland detective look the other way for a favor. Chrisean Rock is exactly the type of defendant a Maryland state's attorney fantasizes about closing the year on. Sloppy, loud, self-incriminating, filmed, halfway to a confession before the arraignment paperwork is even printed. To a prosecutor, Chrisean Rock is Christmas morning wrapped in a red vow. To a defense attorney, Chrisean Rock is an ongoing nightmare, because every single time you sit her down and beg her to log off the internet, she opens Snapchat and posts a scripture caption that a Baltimore juror could interpret 3 different ways, 2 of whom will be looking at her from a jury box in less than a year. Watch this, because the industry is already pivoting. Whack 100 has already pivoted. Blueface has already pivoted. Carlisa has already pivoted. Chrisean Rock's sister has already pivoted. Zeus Network insiders have already pivoted. Half the Baddies cast has already pivoted. Tia Kemp has already pivoted. Akbar V has already pivoted. The entire ecosystem of women who used to run in the same green rooms as Chrisean Rock has quietly unfollowed her, muted her, or subtweeted her over the last 30 days. That is not a coincidence. That is a coordinated distance move. That is a public relations firestorm being managed in real time by teams of people who understand that when a Maryland grand jury finally convenes, no one wants to appear inside a single photograph next to the defendant. And that is not even the wildest development, because Ronnie Doe's family has now stepped forward. His sister, his cousins, his mother. His sister has already sat for a full-length interview. His sister has already looked directly into a lens and called Chrisean Rock the devil by name. His cousin has already gone on record stating that Chrisean Rock is running scared. That Chrisean Rock knows exactly what she did. And Ronnie Doe's family is not letting this case cool. Ronnie Doe's family is going to be on every podcast, every live stream, every YouTube channel, every TikTok comment section, every Instagram live for the entire remainder of the year. And they are going to keep the pressure sitting directly on the shoulders of the Anne Arundel County Police Department until an indictment lands. Because the pressure works. The pressure always works. Because the same Maryland detective who is watching these breakdowns to build his file is also watching these breakdowns to gauge public temperature. And when public temperature is 100%
This is the Buzz
convinced that
pulpit.
Chrisean Rock is the individual who authorized this, that detective has all the political cover he needs to walk into his lieutenant's office and say, "We are ready." Because listen, and this is the piece that nobody in the true crime space says out loud enough. The police are the biggest clout chasers in America. Every detective in this country wants to be the detective quoted in the TMZ article. Every detective in this country wants his badge attached to the arrest of a Zeus Network reality star. Every detective in America is watching this case file inflate in real time and calculating precisely how much of his own career trajectory he can attach to the moment he clicks the wristbands closed on Chrisean Rock in an Atlanta salon parking lot. And I am telling you right now, when that day comes, and it is coming, the arrest is going to be leaked to TMZ before the intake sergeant even finishes the paperwork. Chrisean Rock is going to be walking out of a Miami penthouse, or a Los Angeles Airbnb, or an Atlanta Braid appointment, and she is going to see the flashbulbs before she sees the badges. Because that is how the modern celebrity arrest works. And Chrisean Rock is about to become the case study every criminal justice reform class quotes for the next decade. Watch this, because here is exactly how the next 90 days play out. Somebody, one of the men who was on that Severn driveway the night Ronnie Doe died, is going to catch a case. It might be a gun charge. It might be a distribution charge. It might be a domestic dispute. It might be a traffic stop that snowballs into a felony because there is an outstanding warrant nobody knew was open. Whatever the actual charge turns out to be, the specifics do not matter, because the moment that shooter is inside a Maryland interview room with two detectives leaning across a metal table, that shooter is going to be presented with the exact fork in the road that WAC 100 mapped out on a live stream more than half a year ago. That shooter is going to be given the choice between eating a life sentence on Chrisean Rock's behalf, a woman he does not know, does not love, does not owe, and was paid pocket change by, or handing the detective Chrisean Rock's name and walking back home to his own children. That shooter is going to hand the name over. That shooter is going to wear the recording device. That shooter is going to make the control phone call. And Chrisean Rock, in her infinite lack of impulse control, is going to pick up that phone and she is going to say something wildly incriminating because she has never in her adult life been able to say nothing when her phone is ringing. And that recorded call is going to become Exhibit B. And Exhibit A is going to be the neon live stream clip. And Exhibit C is going to be the confessions dropped in industry green rooms. And Exhibit D is going to be the 4-day bounty window. And Exhibit E is going to be the missed Friday court date. And Exhibit F is going to be the Jason Lee interview with the sister. And Exhibit G is going to be WAC 100's 7-month-old prediction video downloaded straight from YouTube into a Maryland evidence server. Here is the piece nobody is willing to put in writing. That is more admissible evidence than the prosecution had against half the federal defendants currently sitting in a Supermax facility. That is more admissible evidence than the prosecution had against Jimmy Henchman on the day he was arraigned. That is more admissible evidence than the prosecution stacked against half the young thug RICO defendants during the Fulton County proceedings. And that is before we get to the ballistics, the vehicle descriptions, the neighborhood witness statements, the doorbell camera footage, the license plate reader logs, the cell tower pings, the burner phone traces, the Cash App transfers, the Zelle receipts, and the encrypted messaging pulls. And in Arundel County has been building this file quietly for more than a calendar year, and they are almost ready to move. But that is not even the wildest chapter yet. Because Chrisean Rock, as of this week, has a fresh problem, and that problem is that a mainstream property has now printed her legal name in the same paragraph as the word homicide. TMZ is not a blog. TMZ is not a Twitter account. TMZ is a Warner Brothers Discovery property with a legal team the size of a Manhattan law firm. TMZ is the outlet that broke the death of Kobe Bryant before the coroner had finished the scene. TMZ is the outlet that broke the Diddy raid the same afternoon the agents rolled up. TMZ is the outlet that the mainstream press cites when they need a source they can defend inside a defamation deposition. And the second TMZ prints your legal name next to an unsolved murder, the story is no longer niche. The story is now national. The story is Associated Press. The story is a CNN sharing. The story is a Good Morning America segment. The The story is a New York Post front page. And every detective on the Anne Arundel County file just got told this morning by a lieutenant with a Maryland state flag on his lapel that the entire country is watching. Do not let this file go cold. Bring this one home before Thanksgiving. Watch this, because Chrisean Rock is going to be arrested. It is no longer a question of if. It is a question of when the calendar hits the right morning. It might be next Tuesday. It might be in 6 months. It might not land until the 1-year anniversary of Ronnie Doe's death, when the press coverage will peak. But it is coming. And when the arrest lands, the industry is going to react with the exact synchronized way that industries always deploy when a criminal case finally lands on the individual everyone secretly already believed was guilty. A flood of I told you so posts, a wave of unfollows, a stack of subtweets, a run of confessional podcast episodes, and a full blackout of any face who was ever photographed inside a 6-foot radius of the defendant. Zeus Network is going to distance itself inside 48 hours. Baddies is going to distance itself inside 72 hours. Blueface Management is going to distance itself inside a week. And Carlisa Saffold is going to walk onto every platform that will book her and say, for the archives, that she called this in 2023. Here is the piece nobody wants to say into a room. Ronnie Doe was a father. Ronnie Doe was somebody's son. Ronnie Doe was somebody's brother. Ronnie Doe was a young man from Maryland with a child he genuinely believed was his flesh and blood. And he was chasing that child the way any father with a functioning heartbeat would chase a baby he thought was being kept from him. Ronnie Doe did not deserve to die in his own driveway. Ronnie Doe did not deserve to catch 10 rounds at close range from a shooter who was hired for a small pile of cash by a young woman who could not stomach the possibility of sitting inside a Maryland courtroom and admitting under oath that she had been lying about a baby for close to 2 years. Ronnie Doe deserved to watch his son grow. Ronnie Doe deserved every single thing that Chrisean Rock, if these industry insiders are telling the truth, allegedly stole from him for the price of a paternity subpoena she was too much of a coward to face inside a public hearing. Because listen, that is the piece of this that is going to stay with me for the rest of the calendar year. The piece that the Twitter fandom does not want to sit with. Because the Twitter fandom wants to talk about Chrisean Rock's Snapchat outfit rotation and Chrisean Rock's hair color of the week and Chrisean Rock's next reality show contract. But underneath the noise, underneath the receipts, underneath the timeline, underneath the confessions, there is a little boy asleep tonight in a bedroom somewhere in California or Maryland or wherever Chrisean Rock is currently holding him. And that little boy is growing up without a father because the person who allegedly took his father from him is the same person who tucks him in every evening. Read that sentence again. That is the moral weight of this case. That is the reason Ronnie Doe's family is never going to stop pushing. That is the reason this story does not fade. Watch this, because Chrisean Rock has one final card left in her hand, and it is the card she has been telegraphing on her Snapchat for 6 straight weeks. Chrisean Rock is going to try to leave the country. Chrisean Rock is going to try to disappear into a Caribbean nation with no extradition treaty, or a South American country with a diplomatic pipeline slow enough to gather dust, or an African jurisdiction where a Maryland warrant gets lost inside 3 different consular translations before it lands on the right desk. Chrisean Rock is going to try to pull the exact escape play that half of the American fugitives before her attempted. And Chrisean Rock is going to hit the exact same wall those fugitives hit, which is that the FBI operates legal attaché offices inside almost every embassy on the planet. And Interpol issues red notices in under 7 business days. And private investigators quietly retained by Ronnie Doe's family will find Chrisean Rock inside a nail salon in Accra before the United States Marshal Service has even finished laminating the paperwork. There is no country far enough. There is no jurisdiction slow enough. There is no diplomatic loophole wide enough. Chrisean Rock is going to be brought back into an American courtroom. The only remaining variable is whether she walks in wearing wristbands or she comes home inside a bag, because the streets have their own private opinion on how this ends. But that is not even the wildest whisper circulating tonight, because there is a growing conversation happening inside every group chat in this niche, a conversation nobody wants to type out loud, that Chrisean Rock may not make it to trial, not because she runs, not because she hides, because the same men she paid, the same men who accepted a small envelope to end Ronnie Doe's life, are watching this TMZ story circulate right now. and they are doing their own arithmetic on how much easier their own lives get if Chrisean Rock is no longer available for questioning. Because dead defendants do not testify. Dead defendants do not flip. Dead defendants do not sign plea agreements in exchange for the names of the men who pulled the trigger. And the men who pulled the trigger on Ronnie Doe have every possible incentive to make sure Chrisean Rock does not survive long enough to sit inside a Maryland courtroom. That is the darkest possible version of the ending. That is the version the streets are whispering. And it is the version a smart defense attorney is losing sleep over tonight. Here is the piece nobody wants to admit. Chrisean Rock committed the classic celebrity criminal error. Chrisean Rock talked. Chrisean Rock ran her business. Chrisean Rock confessed to friends who were not really friends. Chrisean Rock confessed to industry associates who were secretly recording. Chrisean Rock confessed to Zeus Network castmates who owed her nothing. Chrisean Rock confessed.
Okay, so before we get back to the video that with Chrisean and Blueface, when it says keep your friends close and your enemies closer, I don't know which one is the one that's keeping the other one close. Is it Chrisean Rock keeping Blueface close? Because she popped up at his show. Or is it Blueface keeping Chrisean Rock close? Don't forget that Blueface kept calling to get in touch with her and telling her it's urgent, and showed up in Miami to see her, said he wanted to talk to her, and I assume he didn't want to talk to her over the phone. Don't forget, she was just in a car with a young lady stating that they were both leaving the country. What do I think is not important? But the facts are that Ronnie was killed within the same week he was going to get a court order for the DNA test for Chrisean Jr., Chrisean Rock's son. And Chrisean also, in one of my videos, was telling him to meet her, and as soon as he met her, then she turned on him and said, leave her alone. All of this is playing out in real time before us, and that boy deserves to have justice. So who's involved? Blueface was in jail. Chrisean Rock is being investigated. She talked to the police or the investigator and said they're not looking into her, but isn't that what investigators say when they talk to people? They don't want to give away their case. Anyway, here's the rest of it, where we left off, hopefully, with Chrisean Rock and Blueface.
Sharing reduces stress.
That's what they say.
Thanks for tuning in. Take this time to like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be following this. I'm also going to have a video on Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. I've been promising that video.
What are you doing? You know you shouldn't have to do all of that. Jer? I'm asking, you don't have to.
No. Just say yes or no.
But you really want to go drive. This is 10 minutes. You're not the only. Drive the car, please. Go in the house, bro. You got all this weird attitude. You want to drive or not?
It's not about you.
You want to drive or not? No, you don't have to drive, man. There's no fucking here.
Get the house. Because I don't want to. Set to the next thing I fight. I'm finna go run. Chat, I'm finna go run 2 miles on the water. We're gonna go get something to eat really quick, but I'm finna go jog 2 miles. Can it work out? I wanna see my little shy look. Right? This. And then, you know, let me tell you, Coach Howard taught me this. Yahweh! The 1 2 is Yahweh. Yeah. You know, Jehovah, you feel me?
Yeah.
But most of the Navy chat.
Holy hands.
Holy hands. But she's cool. So I like two now. So we hated him. Cause he was beef with three. Cause he was beef with three. Okay. We still team three. And two. Okay. Look.
Where's the baby bag? How much that?
Whoa! Why is he in the house?
I don't even know what the baby bag looks like. Go back.
It's black. Yeah. My phone did though. Phone did. Thank you. I'm going this side. You going this side. Cause my best side is this side. Look like it's my cross. That's my best side. Yeah, but then they see you.
Exactly, that's why I said same thing. One left thing on that side. Try to X me out.
Since we broke up.
Yeah, it is. You do everything the other side of your face. Like thing, all that.
How you doing?
You doing? I'm good. You gotta get this side, just make this side.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. So what? Don't change it now, because I'm right here.
This is my good side.
That's what I'm saying. That's it right here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chat, hold on. Pause it. Pause it. Put on three.
Hey, Ted. It's on me.
Welcome to the circus.
Hi, my name's Paul.
People from Compton. I don't care what you say.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna have my way anyway. My bad, I wasn't talking to you. A little noisy. Can you hear me?
Are you ready to order?
Yes, ma'am. Can I get 4 tacos with no lettuce?
4 tacos with no lettuce, okay?
Which one?
Lay down.
Can I get a sausage croissant rock?
Just
Sausage,
4 tacos, no lettuce, and sorry, what else?
a sausage, egg and cheese croissant rock?
Sausage, we have a 2 for $5. You want to do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
croissant.
Anything else you can?
Large ice one.
Large ice water.
Ice water, okay.
Let me get a... Let me get the number 10, the Jack Wraps.
You know, I get crispy or grilled.
Crispy.
And then, the combo small, regular, large.
Large, whatever large.
French fries for 30.
Gotta eat.
Can you drink?
It's Sprite.
That's right. Anything else, right?
That one some? Yeah. That's great. What?
Who's the 4 tacos with no lettuce?
And then 4 tacos, no lettuce,
And then a large Sprite.
and a large Sprite. Okay, whatever else there is.
Anybody want Sprite or something? You want it?
Sound good? Number 4.
I just want to drink my Sprite.
Can I get a number 4? What kind of drink? Large.
I see.
With a high C for the Crips. Large high C. Yeah, high C's, Cash. Stupid. Stupid. Regular fire curly. Curly. Curly.
Alright, anything else?
That's all, thank you. You gotta go pay? Shit. I don't got my phone or nothing. I can only pay Apple Pay. gonna pay?
I'll get back.
Yeah. Large ice water. Please.
What's this
Right,
water?
hot sauce. Yep. You ordered the ice water.
All right, come here.
Yep. Hot
It's
sauce.
you right here. The jacket right here.
Okay.
It's right here.
Nobody said it was gone. Yeah, you're not like that.
Well, you need that. Shut up. Dude, you need to grab the camera because two ain't doing it right. Yeah.
Give me the goddamn.
Do it.
I can't even see what he's recording.
What did I do?
I can't even see. You can't even see what you're doing.
I did. I can see.
He has it on us.
Yeah, over there. Three got it on us now.
Cause he's on the other side of the car.
I don't care.
I'm over here holding that, turning
What you,
on.
what you making excuses for?
I definitely was handicapped in that situation. I definitely was handicapped.
I did that too. You just flew there.
I'm not dating. I thought he was meaning y'all. Three. Is he innocent?
He's innocent now.
Okay. Look, he said now.
I've been in
He
it.
said it now.
I've been in it.
Three said now.
Three the one that provoked this.
What happened? What'd he do, too?
Three.
What'd he do?
I need to do that station. Huh? See it right here. You can check right here. Nothing.
The cup.
Beneath the
Fur.
fur.
Where the baby at?
Well, the baby bed?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to ask look. He said my phone is over there.
Everything is in there. My car is my idea.
Okay, there we go, guys. I was gonna show y'all one more thing.
Your chat's private.
Just one more thing I want to show you. This is how much Blueface is making right now that I'm gonna show you. Blueface is rich, even though he's canceled. All these updates I'm giving you as a crash course about Blueface.
Twitch banned him permanently back in May. The major label machine moved on from him the exact way it always does when a radio hit runs its course. But right now, the man is making about $25,000 a week. Not rapping, not touring. He's sitting in a room talking. Salute. He built a check they cannot cancel. But Blueface, if you're watching this and I'm talking directly to you right now, turn off the feeds, ignore the comment section, and look at the math, bro. Because there's one single move left. And if you make it, you'll never have to work another day in your life. But if you miss it, the machine wins anyway. For those of you listening to this channel right now, welcome to Street Smart Business. Today, I'm not talking about gossip, I'm not talking about blogs. I'm breaking down a terrifying, beautiful reality of modern media business, where human emotions are dead and everything is driven by, of course, you know what, the algorithm. And a polarized audience is the highest leverage asset you can own. Let's look at his blueprint, Blueface. Before we dissect the numbers, we have to give the man his flowers, even though some of us don't like how he moves. And I mean that with total professional respect. Most artists who secure a massive culture-shifting hit gets chewed up by the label system. When the momentum slows down, they spend the next 10 years chasing that exact same high that's never gonna come back, burning through cash, and then they end up broken bitter. Blueface is neither, and that is real. When the traditional industry lanes started closing up, he didn't complain. He recognized a foundational truth about the modern system right now. His personality is the product. Blueface, you understood something that textbook marketers failed to realize. You didn't let the public opinion of you dictate your value. If people thought your music was whack, you didn't care. You knew that in media, landscapes are run by shares, saves, and likes. Intense polarization beats polite indifference every single day of the week. You printed your own check when the gatekeepers tried to lock the doors. Most rappers with a platinum plaque never see that kind of consistent velocity you've maintained. That deserves a genuine salute. Here's another one, bro. Now, let's look at why Kick is paying him. When Twitch permanently banned his account, standard industry logic said his streaming revenue was dead. Instead, he went strictly to Kick. Here's the deep insight my audience needs to understand right now, you. The exact behavior that got him removed from one platform is precisely what another platform was willing to pay for. Kick runs a disruptive 95-5% revenue split. Think about that math. For every single $100 a viewer spends on that platform supporting a creator, the creator keeps $95. And the platform only takes 5. Nobody's audience is universally valuable, and no brand is universally loved. The lesson here is that distribution has a direct personality. Your entire job as an entrepreneur, a creator, or a builder isn't to force yourself into a room that hates you. It's finding the room where you are already considered an absolute asset. Blueface found his room. He aligned his chaotic energy with a platform designed to monetize chaos. Let's talk about the raw numbers. He held up a dashboard on a live broadcast the other day. Now in business, we know there are no verified receipts until the audits are done. But as an operator like me, let's run the math anyway. If you calculate the velocity of subscription, gifts, and platform incentives, it tracks at roughly $1.3 million a year gross. That's before taxes. That's before he's paying anybody in the circle of people around him. To the average corporate executive, that looks messy. To me, that is a highly profitable direct-to-consumer media corporation operating with near zero overhead. He doesn't need a stadium tour. He doesn't need $1 million marketing campaign or a label executive approving his budget. He is a self-contained distribution nod. He commands the attention, he commands the feed, and therefore, he commands the check. But again, Blueface, if you're listening, here's the value. This isn't a critique to where you are. This is a roadmap to where you need to go next. Right now, everything you have built requires your physical presence. The money prints because you show up on the screen. You talk, you react, you stir up the room. But the second you stop, the stream stops, the check stops. What you are holding in your hands right now isn't permanent wealth. It is raw material. It is the highest leveraged cash flow of your life. The final move isn't upgrading the lifestyle or flashing how much you make on a dashboard. The move is converting that volatile streaming cash flow into hard, uncancelable assets, or an asset that can earn you money while you're asleep. You need an equity position. You need catalog ownership. You need independent real estate infrastructure. You need your legal name on the actual contract, the deed of the asset, instead of your alias on a broadcast schedule. You have already executed the hardest part of the entire equation. You went out into the world, defied the odds, and got to the money. The last mile of your journey is keeping that money permanently working for you. I am not knocking Blueface. The man was counted out by the entire corporate industry, and he sat down and printed his own check. That is significantly more than most of the critics on the sideline will ever achieve in their lifetime. But my audience needs to hear this clearly. There is a massive operational difference between making money and building money. Making money simply means you showed up for work. Building money means the asset showed up so you don't have to. Right now, Blueface has the best problem in the entire world. He has a massive active cash flow and the time to decide exactly what it becomes. I genuinely hope he turns it into something that outlives his digital stream. Because a check that pays you for what you did on Tuesday is just a high-paying job. But an asset that pays you for what you did 5 years ago, that's real freedom. Before you go, do one thing for me. If this made you rethink the money you're chasing, hit subscribe. Because Street Smart Business is where I give the real game before the mistakes cost you. Then drop a comment and tell me straight, if that $25,000 a week was landing in your account, what's the first asset you would buy? Do me a favor, like this. See you next time on the next episode.
Okay, guys, just want to give you a little bit of insight on the Blueface Chrisean Rock saga, and thank you for tuning in. Share this video, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for more. And we will be keeping up with other things besides this. I think that's enough until something happens, because something definitely I think is going to happen, and there are going to be some arrests made. And just reading off the vibes of Blueface and Chrisean Rock, I think the person with the more clearer soul is a person that does not go back and forth with hypocrisy and deception. And I of course, you know, I'm talking about Chrisean Rock is really, really totally entrenched in this in a unique way. And all of this I'm saying is alleged. Just want you to know that you just can't trust people. You just can't trust these industry people. You can't trust what's put before your eyes. You have to see what it is for yourself. And I'm going to always bring it to you in a graceful way and gracefully expose it. So tune in when I get a chance to show you the situation with Rihanna, Jay-Z, A$AP Rocky, and Drake. Okay, so please make sure that you subscribe. Thank you for your comments. I see the comments here, and thank you for making those comments. It helps the algorithm, and we'll tune in soon. And as usual, this is Graceful Exposure signing out. Bye now.